Richard, I was hoping that you could tell us something about how ToolsGroup is used for simulation at different clients.
All right, clients. There are different types of clients. There are operating clients who use ToolsGroup in an operating environment, and there are those who, for whom we do strategic modeling, strategic inventory modeling. For example, I remember the case of a brown goods company in Europe. Well, it's a worldwide brown goods company, and they were reviewing their distribution system in Europe, and had engaged a consulting team, and we were not initially involved, to do a network analysis to validate the hypothesis of centralization in Holland of their entire European distribution system. They had, I think, 8 regional warehouses. The idea was to use one huge hub in Holland and cross-dock from local distribution centers around Europe. Towards the end of the project, we were called in to validate the inventory implications of this. Most of the inventory calculations they had done had been kind of on the back of an envelope. The results were actually quite engaging, because our initial results showed that they would never be able to put all the inventory in the warehouse that they had thought of using in Holland. The reason was, the reason relates to the way that network modeling is done and the way that inventory modeling is done. Network modeling tends to model at pack level. So you're not really concerned with what's in the pack. You tend to look at product groups which have certain similarities, like they're all DVDs, they're all televisions. They have a certain bulk size, but you're not worried whether what's inside is, I don't know, a Thompson or a Sony or a Lowe or whatever it is. A product's a product's a product. It fills space on the truck and it moves. And this is somehow how they've done the analysis for the stocking in the warehouse. Well, when we went to look at it, the way we do our modeling is, let's say, top down or bottom up. We tend to start bottom up. We start from very detailed data, and then we aggregate it up. Nobody's interested in what's happening with SQL number X, but we want to know what the aggregate numbers are. But our numbers are based on highly detailed modeling. In this case, this was a significant advantage to the project, because we found out that there was no way they were going to get this stock into that warehouse, because the same product they were selling in Spain, say, had different plug and wiring systems for the same product that they were selling in Holland or England. It resulted in a different SKUL. This has been totally overlooked in the original project, because they didn't have this kind of visibility.
So they were using these oversimplifications to basically alter their network.
Yes.
And then essentially ToolsGroup was used and had these extra assumptions built into the model that were more realistic, and that changed the decision. It
changed the decision, absolutely. Well, it moved them to thinking about putting certain types of kitting operations into the warehouse, whereby they would kit the finished product with plug assemblies, but keep that till the very last moment, because otherwise there was no way they could put everything in a box and then stock the same product 7 times, right? Or have 7 safety stocks of the same product.
Right.
I'm not saying that the original modeling was wrong. It was perfectly correct, but to have applied that level of aggregation to a stock model is a significant cause for concern.
So here, Richard was able to provide us with a real-life example of how important it is to get the right level of detail when performing strategic supply chain analysis. Strategic consultants often use general heuristics when providing recommendations, but only a tool like SO99, which can model it to SKU, can tell you for sure. For more details on how to use SO99 in this way, visit the ToolsGroup website.